Warren presents Hell Breaks Loose. Season 1, Episode 3. Warren woke up in the morning. It was Warren's first day of school at age 5. His guardians got him ready and helped him dress himself up. Then he got on the school bus. When Warren was riding on the bus, the kids inside started singing the song, Wheels on the Bus. When all the kids started singing, Warren got annoyed by it pretty quickly. As the kids were singing, Warren was wishing they stopped, but they didn't. Minutes after children were singing as the bus moved along, Warren lost it and yelled out to the kids to shut the fuck up. All of the kids and the bus driver gasped in disbelief, and the kids in the bus found it very disrespectful somehow, even though some of them never heard the word before. The kids started judging Warren and also started tattle-telling on him. Warren told them to shut the fuck up once again, and that made the kids mock him even more. The bus driver told all the kids to settle down and that they can play a game if they want, but all the kids were more focused on Warren's profanity. Warren told the kids to stop looking at him, but the kids wouldn't listen. For the rest of the bus ride, all of the kids were talking to each other. When they all got to school, they were let out and a teacher told all of them to fall over to the gates at the waiting area. There were actually some kids that were trying to tell the teacher that Warren was swearing on the bus. The kids didn't know his name, so they were pointing fingers at him and describing his appearance, but the teacher just ignored it and then continued listing down all the kids who came out from their bus. After waiting for all the kids, Warren was the only one to be sent to a different class. The teacher led him inside the school building and told him to go to his classroom down the hall. When Warren got to his classroom, there were already kids in there. Warren sat down away from the other children. It was an English class. The teacher said that they were gonna do reading for a few minutes, then she'll give out question assignments to each of them. After a few minutes of reading, the teacher gave each of the kids a paper of questions about themselves and what they like doing. While the kids started answering the questions on their own paper, a few kids sitting around Warren decided to tease him. Warren whispers to them to stop it, but the kids still refuse to listen to him and continue bothering and judging him, and even mocking his appearance. This pisses Warren off and tells the kids to stop teasing him. After minutes of being teased by, Warren snaps and yells loudly at them to stop fucking teasing him, and calls them profanity names, and told them to go to hell. The kids and teacher stayed speechless, and the teacher asks Warren to stop yelling and asks him what is his problem. Warren said that the kids around him were distracting him from doing his work. The teacher tells him that the kids around him are not doing anything to him, and says that he's the one teasing the kids around him. Warren says that she is wrong and that the kids were really bothering him, but the teacher doesn't believe him and says that he better get back to work. Warren angrily continues answering the questions on his paper when the kids started mocking at him again, and started picking at him by his looks and how he behaves. Warren tells them to stop it, but the teacher doesn't even notices that the kids are distracting Warren. After minutes, all of the kids, including Warren, was all done with their questions and the teacher collected all of their paperwork. While the kids were waiting for the teacher for something else, the kids around Warren started teasing him again. One kid sitting behind him started mocking his appearance, saying that he looks childish as he's wearing colorful clothes and overalls, and that he looks lighter. Warren angrily tells them to fucking shut up, but they refused. After a few minutes of kids teasing him, Warren snaps once again and abruptly swings his arm and punches one of the kids sitting behind him, who were teasing him. The boy who Warren socked in the face started getting a bloody nose, and he even started tearing up and crying. The teacher went up to Warren's desk and started yelling and lecturing at him. Warren said it was not his fault and that the kid was teasing him every time he was working, but the teacher said that he will be sent home if something like this happens again. Suddenly, Warren grabs a book he got from the class bookshelf and slams it right at the teacher's face, also breaking off her glasses and giving her a bloody nose. Warren then calls the teacher profanity words and name-calling, and tells her to go burn in hell. After that disaster, Warren was dragged to the principal's office and told that he was supposed to sit there for 10 minutes. After English, it was time for Warren's next subject, which was math. Warren hates math. When his teacher and the kids got settled in, the teacher taught the kids about addition, giving them questions of how many fingers she is showing. After a while, the teacher teaches the kids about subtraction. The teacher held up 10 fingers, then took away 4. The teacher asked how many fingers she had held up now. Warren suddenly started yelling out that it was 6 fingers left. Warren was hoping he got it right. One of the kids told Warren to be quiet and not yell so loud. Warren told that kid to shut up. The teacher told Warren to stop it and to not to tell the kid to shut up and to not yell out the answer too loud where kids can hear him. Warren told her to shut the hell up and that he didn't want to be around the kids anyways. The teacher told Warren to go sit in the back if he didn't want to be around them. And he stayed as far away from them as possible, especially considering how he thought all of the kids smelled disgusting, as he was being squished in with them in one circle. While the teacher continued to teach subtraction, Warren got a toy marble and threw it at one of the kids in front of him. The kid who Warren threw a marble at looked behind him and figured that Warren threw it. The kid told the teacher and the teacher told Warren that he will be sent to the office if he does that again. While the teacher continued to teach the kids, Warren was looking for something else to throw at another kid, and he wasn't paying attention to what the teacher was saying. He found another marble and threw it at the teacher. The teacher stopped talking and she got Warren to drag him outside. The teacher said that this is his last warning, and that if he does something dumb again, we will be sent to the office for another 10 minutes. When they both went inside the classroom, the teacher told Warren to go sit in the back where he was sitting. While the teacher continued to teach the kids again, Warren started making sounds to get one of the children's attention. One kid looked behind him after hearing a little sound from him and saw Warren making stupid faces at the kid. The kid told Warren stop making faces like that, but Warren refused to listen to him. The kid called the teacher about it and the teacher sent Warren to face a corner of the room. After a few minutes, Warren asked the teacher if he could use the restroom, but the teacher said no. Warren asks her again, and the teacher said no, and to wait. This made Warren annoyed and was waiting for more minutes. After another 8 minutes, Warren asks if he can use the restroom, but the teacher ignores him. Warren decides to take a piss at the corner he was facing, and peeing on the floor. This made all the kids and the teacher disgusted, and Warren was about to be sent to the principal's office. Right when the teacher was about to get him, Warren starts to take the rest of his piss on the classroom floor. The teacher tried to grab him, but he was too fast. Warren then ran around the classroom to get away from the teacher. Eventually, Warren was finally caught by the teacher and was sent to the restroom in the classroom. While Warren was in there, he got a marker from a wardrobe inside the restroom and got a permanent marker. When he was done using the restroom, he got out and drew a penis drawing on the corner of the wall he was facing during the class. The teacher grabbed Warren and sent him to the office. When Warren got back to his classroom after 10 minutes, the bell rang and it was time for his next subject. Science. When Warren got to his classroom, he was strongly warned by his teacher that if he does something stupid, he will be sent to the office for the 3rd time. The teacher grabbed a science book and read it to the kids. Warren was bored to death and was listening to this until the teacher was done. When the teacher was done reading, she put kids in 3 groups. Warren hates the idea of him being in a group. He was with kids he really hated the most. The teacher handed out paper to write the answers down for the questions. After that, the teacher will read the other pages and they'll answer those. The kids in Warren's group were talking so much and it angered Warren so much for him to stare at the kids' faces to let himself know how much he hates them. The kids were still talking when Warren told them to shut up. The kids told Warren to shut up and said that they are doing their own thing. Warren wanted to punch one of the kids' jaw so badly, but he tried to stay calm. Warren was sitting there answering questions when he said that science is boring. One kid replied to him that science isn't boring and that he likes to learn it. Warren told the kid to shut the fuck up and that he didn't ask for his opinion. The kid told Warren not to say that or he's telling the teacher. Warren told the KKD to leave him alone and not talk to him ever again. When Warren was finished writing on his paper, he returned it to his teacher. When all the kids were done, the teacher said that they were gonna learn about lab safety, on how to stay safe in a science laboratory. The teacher then asked the kids what to wear in the science lab. Warren replied that you should wear a stripper. The teacher is mad about this and tells Warren that the question is wrong. One kid said you should wear goggles. Whenever the teacher asks a question, Warren doesn't have the opportunity to answer the question. The teacher asks one question asking what happens if you make a mistake with the chemicals in the lab. Warren raised his hand to answer, but then some other kid blurted out and said that your hair would get messy and there would be dust all over you. Warren gets mad and told the kid to fucking be quiet and that he raised his hand to snur. The teacher told Warren not to say the bad word. The kid told Warren, yeah, you shouldn't say a bad word. That made Warren angry and he punched the kid's balls, which made the kid's face turn purple and had blood coming from his mouth. The kid started crying and the teacher told Warren to get up and come with her. Warren snaps and yells that he F***seeking hates his class so much. The teacher grabbed Warren. When she grabbed him, Warren kicked a kid in the face and caused the kid's mouth to bleed. Warren was sent to the office until the bell rang and it was now lunchtime. Warren and his class went to the cafeteria to pick their food. After Warren got his lunch, he went to an empty table where no kid would sit by him. While Warren was eating, he saw that same kid who was teasing him back in his first class while they were doing English. He got some of the same exact food Warren got. After Warren saw that, he threw his food away without taking one last bite. Warren does not like eating food that someone else who he hates eats. Whatever food someone that Warren hates eats, Warren won't eat that food. Then some staff teacher came up to Warren to ask if he had eaten any food, and Warren said he didn't eat much of his food. The teacher said he needed to eat something, but Warren says he hates eating food and hates chewing it with his mouth. The teacher said he needs to eat something for the whole school day, so she went to get Warren some food from a staff room. When the staff teacher came and brought Warren food, Warren refused to eat it. The teacher said he needs to stay healthy, but Warren said he doesn't like junk food anyways. The staff teacher told him that he needs to eat the food, then walked away. This enrages Warren and he throws the lunch food down the floor, causing a mess on the ground. While a staff cleaner came to clean and pick the food up from the ground, a staff teacher told Warren to never do something idiotic like that again. Warren told the staff teacher to shut the fucking hell up and told her to go fuck herself. This makes the staff teacher angry and tells Warren that he won't be getting food for the rest of the day. Warren said he does not fucking care. The staff teacher got close to Warren and told him to stop it or he will get sent to the principal's office. Warren yelled at the staff teacher to leave him the fucking hell alone, but this caused an argument between him and the staff teacher. After arguing for 15 seconds, Warren got berserk and socked the staff teacher in the face, knocking off her glasses. Warren then called her a cocksucker. Warren was sent to the office until lunch was over. When the bell rang, it was time for his next subject. Language arts. When Warren got into the classroom, the teacher told the kids to sit down and that she was gonna show them each letter in the alphabet, then she'll ask each of them to say a word that starts with the letter she picks out. When the teacher got out a letter A, most of the kids said apple. Warren said ass like someone's posterior. The teacher then picked out the letter B. Some kids said bumblebee, bear, and backpack. While all that was going on, Warren said bitch. The teacher was not happy about this and told him not to say that. She then went on to the letter C. Some kids said coconut, cat, and camera. Warren said cunt. He was laughing about it when the teacher got angry about what he said. The teacher told him not to say that. The teacher then went on to the letter D. Then suddenly, Warren yells the word out loud, dick. The teacher went up to Warren and told him to stop or else he will be kicked out of class. After the ABCs, the teacher got all of the kids an iPad and gave them a piece of paper with a list of words to search the meaning of, and then to write down the definitions of the words. While the kids started working, Warren searched up a few words before searching up an image of a toilet with pee in it. Warren showed it to one of the kids sitting by him and the kid was disgusted. Warren then went on to play some games on the iPad instead of researching the words listed down the paper. A little while later, the teacher came to see what Warren was doing only to find him playing games. The teacher warned Warren to follow instructions or he will be writing down the definitions without searching it up on the iPad. When the teacher went away, Warren searched up a few words, then searched up an image of a toilet with shit inside it. Warren showed it to another kid sitting next to him and the kid was disgusted by it. Warren then searched up bad words, and he showed it to the kids sitting next to him. The kids seemed suspicious by it but were confused and went back to what they were doing. Warren then went back to do research on the words on his paper. But while he did some searching on the iPad, an advertisement of a Playboy popped up on his screen. Warren clicked on it only to see nudity and maximize photos of women. Warren showed it to the kids sitting next to him, and the kids laughed and were confused by what they were shown. The teacher came up to Warren to see what was going on, and saw Warren looking at nude photos. The teacher took the iPad away from him and was gonna be in trouble for it. The teacher told Warren to write down the definitions by himself, but then Warren grabbed the iPad from the teacher's hand and then smashed it in the teacher's face as hard as he could. He was sent to the office and was there until the bell rang. When Warren got to his classroom, his teacher sent him to a different classroom. When he got there, there was a teacher named Mr. Belt to take Warren to his seat. There were many kindergarten kids in that classroom, which made Warren feel uneasy. The teacher got the kids settled, and he told the kids that it was social studies, and that they're gonna read a children's book called Gardens of Eve. The teacher said that each kid is gonna take a turn to read a paragraph. That's when Warren realized that one of the things he mostly hated in the world was hearing children's voices and reading. The teacher pointed to one kid to read the first paragraph of the book in chapter 1. When the kid started reading, Warren thought the kid's voice was annoying, and the kid was also a little bit slow of reading the paragraph, and the teacher had to help the kid to read a few hard words. The teacher started calling on other kids to read paragraphs. Warren started getting nervous because he did not want to read a book out loud in the classroom where kids can hear him. When it was Warren's turn to read a paragraph, his heart started beating fast, but he calmed himself down enough to start reading. He started reading and tried to read clearly and calmly. What Warren was really uncomfortable with was that some kids were staring at his direction, which made it harder for him to read normally. Other kids were staring at their own book to keep track of what sentence Warren was reading. When Warren was done reading the paragraph, he was relieved to finish. But then some kid whispered that Warren's voice sounded high-pitched, and they were laughing at him. That made Warren mad enough to grunt loudly and strictly. While Warren was sitting there, a kid touched Warren's hair. Warren hates being touched, so he quickly turns behind him and yells at the kid to stop it. The teacher stared at the kid, and Warren. The teacher went up to the kid who touched Warren and told him not to touch him because he hates being touched. Some other kid a few seats to Warren asked him why he has to yell out loud like that. Warren tells the kid to shut the hell up. The kid tells Warren to stop talking to him, and the kid sticks his tongue at him. Warren gave the middle finger to the kid, which the kid finds confusing but suspicious. But the teacher saw Warren giving the middle finger, and he told Warren not to give the middle finger. The same kid a few seats from Warren said, "Ha ha," to him and teased him. Warren told the kid to shut the fuck up, but the kid wouldn't listen. Warren got his book and threw it at the kid, giving the kid's blood to come from his own eyes. The teacher came up to Warren to grab him, but Warren grabbed out a textbook and smashed it at the teacher's face. Warren was sent to the office after that. When the bell rang, it was Warren's final class. Social skills. Warren was sent to another different class, which was held by a teacher named Mrs. Marana. Marana was told by the principal that Warren has been a bad boy so far for the whole day. After Warren took a seat, the teacher settled the kids down to listen. The teacher said that they were gonna learn about how to act kind to each other. The teacher then said that she was gonna pick 2 kids, and those 2 kids will talk and be kind to each other in a kinful and nice way. 2 kids were picked and they went up to the front of the classroom in front of the kids for them all to watch. The kids first said hi to each other, then they talked about toys and their favorite stuff to do, then they hugged each other and said bye. Warren was disgusted at how they had to hug each other at the end. For the past few minutes, the teacher started calling out 2 kids to do the same thing. Minutes later, it was now Warren's turn, and he paired up with this other kid named Anthony. Warren thought he looked disgusting due to the freckles on his face and how he had a birthmark showing, and the kid seemed annoying, too. When they both got to the front of the class, Warren tried to make conversation. He asked Anthony what his favorite color is, and Anthony said it's blue. Anthony then asked Warren what his favorite food was, and Warren said it was jelly sandwiches. Warren asked him what his favorite type of game is, and Anthony said it was racing car games. Anthony asked Warren what his favorite games are, and Warren said it was shooting games. Warren was getting nervous about him talking to a student he doesn't know, and he also hated how he has to look him in the eyes, thinking it was ridiculously stupid and dumb. After Warren and Anthony were done chatting with each other, the teacher whispered to the both of them to hug each other. Warren didn't want to, so when Anthony came close to Warren to hug him, Warren stepped back. The teacher said he doesn't want to hug him. The teacher said he understands him because he hates hugs, so she let Warren go without hugging Anthony. As Warren and Anthony were walking to sit at their desks, Anthony said it was rude how Warren wouldn't give him a hug. Warren told him to shut the fuck up, and Anthony asked Warren what's his problem. Warren told Anthony that he had disgusting freckles on his face, and also had a gross birthmark on his arm. He also said that he looks disgusting himself, saying that he isn't beautiful at all. As Warren and Anthony were sitting at their desk, Anthony told Warren that he isn't gross or disgusting, and that he looks good. But then Warren told him that he smells gross and that he's wearing shorts, socks, and Converse shoes, which he said that it disgusted him. Anthony is offended by what Warren just said, and tells him to stop it or he will tell the teacher on him. Warren told him to shut the hell up, and that made Anthony go to tell the teacher what Warren said. Before Anthony can go up to the teacher, though, Warren grabbed him and demanded him not to tattletale on him, but Anthony pushed Warren back. Warren got up and kicked him right in the testicles, real hard. Anthony fell to the ground and started crying, and Warren called him a stupid fuckboy, bitch face, fuckheaded dick face. The teacher ran up to Warren to grab him, but Warren was too fast, and he grabbed a textbook and threw it at the teacher's face. The teacher yelled at Warren to get over to him right now, but Warren then started screaming and had a tantrum, throwing stuff and knocking down supplies. The kids in the classroom started to cry, and got terrified by Warren's actions and his intense behavior. The teacher finally grabbed Warren, but then Warren bit her right arm real hard, which made the teacher shriek. Warren was sent to the office after the teacher had a rough time getting him there. The teacher explained what Warren had done and what he was screaming about in the classroom. Warren started crying as the teacher was explaining all of that. As Warren was tearing up, he said that he hated his classmates and he had never liked them at all. Warren stayed at the office until school was done and it was time to leave to go home. All the kids were walking while Warren was walking with a guard to the bus. When Warren got on the bus, he sat in the back of the bus because he didn't want to talk to anybody, and he just sobbed and wanted to go home as soon as possible. When Warren got home, he waited until the bus door opened. He then ran out from the school bus and ran. When Warren got inside his house, his guardians were already sitting on the couch in the living room. He then yelled in a tearful and angrily way that he hates his school, his classmates, and his teachers, and also said that he does not want to go back to school anymore. Warren then ran upstairs to his bedroom, locked the door, and didn't come out. He started crying hard and angrily shouting that he fucking hates everybody. Warren got so angry and outraged that he vomited on his bedroom floor, and blood started running down from his nose. Warren's dad looks upstairs, saying that Warren seems to hate everyone and that he might be vile to be around with. Warren's mom seemed mind blown and said that she thought Warren was gonna be respectful and kind to every kid and everybody around him at the school. A week later, on Friday, Warren's mom was called down to the school by the principal, saying that Warren will be suspended from his school and that she wants to talk about him and his behavior. Warren's mom got to Warren's school 1 hour later after picking Warren up from school. When Warren's mom got to the principal's office and sat down, the school principal said that Warren is obnoxious, mean, crazy, and mature, and that he seems to act these ways towards random kids at his school and teachers and other people. She said that he'll trash talk anyone who messes with him, and always gets into fights with them, also saying that Warren is different from all the other kids in his school. Unlike the other kids, who are crazy, nice, childish and playful, Warren is violent. She then said that other kids seem to hate Warren so much anyways due to his rude behavior towards them. And that Warren also acts mature himself, not wanting to be like other childish kids, especially girls. She then stated that Warren seems to really hate boy and girl groups. Then the principal asked Warren's mom if there might be any conditions in Warren that made him go crazy and outrageous. Warren's mom replied that she doesn't understand what's gotten into him. She also said that she thought he was gonna be nice throughout his school days, but that she would take him to a treatment session to see what's going on with him. The principal said that she was notified by his bus driver, who drove him and all the other kids to school on his first day. And the principal said that the bus driver told her that Warren was making a huge fuss on the bus that day, which surprised Warren's mom. Warren's mom told the principal that before Warren went to school for the first time, he was at daycare for 3 days while she and her husband were getting Warren prepared for school and doing applications. And when they both went to pick up Warren from daycare, the daycare lady said that Warren was having massive tantrums back when he was in daycare back then. After Warren's mom and the principal were done talking, Warren's mom went home. The end.